So many network marketers fall in love with a health and wellness product, and then they realize that there's an incredible opportunity to build the lifestyle and income of their dreams. But what happens when you get started and you run out of friends and family to talk to, and what you're doing on social media just isn't quite getting you where you want to be? Well, the truth is, it's probably not your fault. It just takes a little marketing know-how that you may not be getting from anywhere else. So on this podcast, I'm sharing with you the secrets that I've been able to learn from all of my top earner friends and mentors. I'm pulling back the curtain on exactly what it takes to get people excited about the wellness products that you have to offer, to help people improve their lives, and to get you to the rank that you want to be at. My name is Soraya Goddard, and this is Secrets to Marketing Your Wellness MLM. Hi friends, how are you? Coming back with something that's just been on my mind tonight. So I am here talking to you about really how to be a leader online. And what has inspired me to come on here tonight and to talk to you guys about this is something that's been really building in me for a while. You know, I think that anyone can show up on social media and start to post stuff. And that's a great thing. That's a beautiful thing. But as I've been around the social media space now for, 5 years, I guess, of really studying social media, like intensely studying it every single solitary day, what I have noticed is there's a lot of people talking and a lot of people publishing content and a lot of people posting pictures, but not a lot of leaders. And leadership, if you know anything about me, is something I'm really passionate about, but I've never really talked about leadership and social media at the same time. And I want to do that just a little bit today and share with you some things that are on my heart and hopefully give you some encouragement on maybe just some perspective on your social media. So I hope that that's okay. What I said earlier is really apparent to me these days. As social media gets to become really one of our main sources of communication, particularly if you have been, at home most of the last year, social media, not only before this pandemic, but now more than ever, is a really powerful tool for us to stay connected to other people. And in the last year, we've all gone through different phases of love and hate with social media, but one thing cannot be denied: it is here to stay. And that means that it's part of our lives. And that means that we have the ability as business owners to use it for good. What do I mean by that? I mean that so much of the focus of my training and teaching and content over the last couple of years, maybe you've seen some of this, maybe you've heard it in this podcast or anything, has been about how to grow your following. And although I stand behind everything that I have shared, I think my position is evolving a little bit. So hear me out on this. I think what I meant by growing a following was not necessarily all about the numbers. If you know anything about me, you know that I don't have the largest Instagram account. I don't have the most Facebook friends. I don't even log into LinkedIn. I'm not that person. I'm not the person who you're going to see with 200,000 Facebook friends. I mean, maybe someday in the future, but not right now. Instagram followers. That's what I meant to say. And that is totally fine, because the follower number that you have does not determine the quality of your leadership. What I think is the most important is, do you show up online with the attitude of service towards the people who are following you? And it's almost a cyclical thing, where if you show up with an attitude of service and looking to teach, help, support, inspire, do good for the people that are listening to you, those people will spread the word about how you're doing good for them. This is how this works, right? You spread the word about people who inspire you or help you. And so because people spread the word or tag you in things or share videos or however they spread the word, then more people will start to listen. and more people will start to share, and it grows. Right now, I see a divide online, and I see camp one is people who have built a large quantity of followers, but don't have a message. Let me give you an example. I have coached not one, but two women who have had, it's ironic because they had almost the same amount of followers. Two different people have come to me for private coaching that have each had 75,000 Instagram followers, yet neither of them could sell anything online. Couldn't sell. So in that case, it tells me two things. The number of followers does not determine the number that's incoming to your business. Just doesn't. It doesn't. And if you're still not in belief, just trust me on it. So that's the first thing that tells me. The second thing that tells me is that you can build a following without a message, but then when you go to share a message, some of the people who are already following you may not like that message. In one of those cases, for one of the people that I coached, she built her following on Instagram by showing beautiful pictures of herself. But when she wanted to then transition to inspiring people and selling a product that had really changed her life, she found that the people there didn't want to hear it because that's not what they initially came for. So I use those as examples to hopefully give you some encouragement that if you're in a space where you're frustrated with your follower count or you're desperately on the search for more followers, know that none of that matters. And I am not saying this from a position of, I've never thought about it. I have been frustrated with my follower count more times than I can think of. But what I've grown to appreciate is that the followers that I do have, number one, are amazing. Number two, buy lots of stuff from me, so I'm super happy about that. Number three, are there because they like what I have to say. And so I'm never going to have the problem that those other two ladies had. I want the same for you. I don't care what your follower count is. I don't care if you have 100 people following you or 100,000 people following you. It doesn't matter. And I'm kind of talking Instagram numbers, but just in general, I don't care if your followers are small. Followers are big. I don't care if you have a small number of Facebook friends, a large number of Facebook friends. I don't care if your email list is small, your email list is big. It does not matter, because at the end of the day, what does matter is, are you sharing information that leads people to what they're looking for? That could be selling a product that they love and sharing about how that product has transformed your life and how it can also transform theirs. That could be a message that you have about a certain topic. It could be an experience that you've gone through and you've survived and navigated through that dark place. You've come to the other side and now you're here to help lead other people through the same. It doesn't matter. There's umpteen different reasons or examples of how you can show people that you are a leader. But typically being a leader means that you have a message, and that message is powerful. I was actually on a Clubhouse tonight with someone who said that they weren't quite sure what their message was yet. And if that's you, you're listening to this and you're like, I don't know what my message is. That is totally great. That's fantastic. Don't worry about it, because I only recently have really gained clarity on what my message is. And I'll tell you, I have more than one message. Overall, my message is that I found a business that radically changed my life. And I want to help other people start their own businesses so that they can do the same, so that they can not have to feel stuck in their jobs, so that they don't feel like they have to choose between career success and family and time off and rest. I want desperately to share with people that social media is an incredible tool to grow your business. And I don't care if you've never even thought about having a business. The tools are here. And if you want to do it and you're willing to put in the work, it's here for the taking. And so those are just a couple of the things that I want to talk about. I also want to continue to talk about what we're talking about here, which is to be a leader is universal. There's nothing that's different about being a leader who is physically in front of people or being a leader that is using Clubhouse or Instagram or Facebook or anything else, LinkedIn, to lead people. And I don't know that I hear anyone talking about that. So I'm just I want to just share this concept with you that we've built this culture where we teach people how to grow audiences and followings, but I'm starting to become increasingly just not in alignment with those terms. I want to teach people how to be leaders. I want to encourage people to find their inner voice and the thing that they get so excited about or the thing that has deeply moved them. And I want to give them the tools to share that message over social media so they can reach more people, so they can impact more people. And the byproduct of that is building an audience and making sales and growing an email list and growing more followers and all of those things. But ultimately, that's not where we start. We start with the message, and we start by showing people where we want to take them. I think most of you guys know by now, I still have a career in the Army. At some point that will come to an end. But one of the things that I have learned in the Army, 21 years now, the Army's definition, not the entire definition, but part of the Army's definition of leadership is that you provide people purpose, direction, and motivation. Purpose, direction, and motivation. And I think that that is so interesting. Does it apply 100% to business? Probably not, because people should find their own purpose, I would argue. But can you provide them direction? Absolutely. Can you provide them motivation? Absolutely. Can you expose them to your purpose and see if that resonates with them? Absolutely. So I just wanted to share that because I think it's just a fun way. I don't think that's the perfect definition of leadership, but I think it's a great way of thinking about social media. So do we show up with direction? Meaning, do we show up with a message that brings people this way? And I know I'm speaking in terms that are like really profound, it's kind of big thinking, but this could be as simple as you sharing something like a makeup routine, right? And then telling people that, look, I used to be the person who never felt confident. I didn't feel beautiful when I went to the office. I didn't know how to apply makeup. It was just another thing that reinforced the message to myself that I didn't feel confident or that I wasn't worthy, whatever those talks are. And I'm making this up, right, as an example to show you that anything can be you leading. And so you can show up online and teach how to apply makeup and sell makeup and be radically and appropriately giving people confidence and encouragement and support and inspiration. So if we go back to the definition, purpose, direction, and motivation, again, it's not a perfect analogy, but you can certainly direct people towards that end state of seeking a transformation and feeling better about themselves and having some sort of a benefit, right? So I don't know if that helps you, but I wanted to just give you some encouragement that just by you listening to this, you're a leader, because otherwise you wouldn't be listening to this. And so are you showing up looking to move people towards a goal or a feeling or an emotion or some sort of change? And if you're not quite sure, I would just encourage you to think about that for a little bit. How can I show up online and in person, really? How can I show up in my life, to include being on social media, in a way that I can inspire people to come along with me or at least watch me do it, right? How can I encourage people that if I can do it, they can too? How can I encourage people with my story? How can I encourage people to see what's possible? How can I encourage people to not get stuck in their limiting beliefs and to see that if I can do it, they certainly can do it? So there you go. I actually just started a Clubhouse club for those of you that are hanging out on Clubhouse, and it's called Social Media Leaders. Social Media Leaders. And I'm looking for people who are current leaders, aspiring leaders, all of the above, wannabe leaders, does not matter. Leaders who know that they have leadership within them and it just hasn't come out yet. So if you hop on over to Clubhouse and you follow me, you'll see the club that I started. You can join us over there. And the benefit of doing that is that you'll get notified every time I open a discussion. So of course, I'm still here. I'm still on the podcast. I'm not going anywhere in that respect, but it's just another vehicle, another avenue to have a conversation with me about this topic and many more. I'll also be in that club talking about lots of, kind of micro stuff, right? Like niching down into Instagram and audits, all the fun stuff that you guys typically hear me talk about. So ultimately, I hope that gives you some food for thought. I know that you're a leader because, again, you wouldn't be here listening to me if you didn't have that in you already. Some of you are extremely accomplished. Some of you are on your journey to extreme accomplishment. Either way, though, you have a message. So I really hope that as you get the opportunity to be online over the next week, that you purposely share a message that maybe just one person needs to hear. Don't worry about impacting the hundreds or the thousands. Share a message that one person on the other side of that camera, on the other side of that app just needs to hear. And I think that you'll find some reward in that, because let's face it, being a leader is rewarding, right? It's extremely rewarding. And if you're doing it for a business, it's financially rewarding. So that's double the greatness. But I think you'll find it just personally rewarding to speak to people, to instill courage and confidence and inspire and lead them towards something, whatever that is, big or small. It doesn't have to be changing the world today, but it can be something that will make their life better. I am seeing in the comments that you guys are loving this. I really, really, really appreciate you being here and hopping on and just sharing some time with me to listen. As you guys know, I record these on Facebook Live and I translate them to the podcast. So you could find this on the podcast, which is on Apple, iTunes, and Spotify, all the normal podcast places. So you can share this with people if you found that this was a super helpful message. So excited to continue the discussion as we go on about social media leadership. Short plug. If you are looking for help with using social media to get your message out and help clarifying your message, all those types of things, I have a group coaching program that is the best kept secret online. And it's called Social Media Sales Secrets. If you go to socialmediasalessecrets.com, you can sign up there. It's an insanely, ridiculously low price for the value that you get. But I do a live training session every week. You can watch live or on the replay. It's up to you. And we talk about all things. We talk about big picture stuff. We do content planning together. We talk about messaging. And then we do a lot of the tactical stuff. In fact, later on this month, I'm going to be teaching a masterclass on Reels. So all sorts of good stuff. If you're interested, socialmediasalessecrets.com. It's where we hang out. It's a rock star group of people that are they're just some of my favorite people. So if that's you and you'd like to join us and level up your social media, I would love to have you there. All right, guys, thank you for hanging out with me. Talk soon. Bye. Hey friends, I hope you enjoyed Secrets to Marketing Your Wellness MLM. Before you go though, I have something for you. If you are looking to grow your audience online via social media so that you can have people getting excited about your products and reaching out to you to learn more, then you need my cheat sheet that has 50 health and wellness Facebook Live topics that will attract an audience to you. It also walks you through the secret 4-part formula that you can follow on both Facebook and Instagram that is proven to have people reaching out to you. And when you get it, I am also sending you guys an audio file for those of you who love to listen to the information on the go. You can get both of those things at www.sorayagoddard.com/podcast. Again, that's sorayagoddard.com/podcast. SORAYAGODDARD.com/podcast. Thanks so much. Chat soon.